Hey everyone, I know it's been a long time, but welcome back to Quick Pop Podcast, your one and only, hopefully one and only, podcast about wrestling and wrestling accessories. I'm Nannercat.
Paraphernalia. I'm Ace.
And I'm Nell.
Do you like wrestling accessories?
Paraphernalia.
I would. Why is it paraphernalia?
I don't know.
I didn't know
It sounds
Snoop was
better.
here.
I have a few wrestling accessories.
I mean, Snoop is Sasha's cousin.
Yeah, I mean Snoop is wrestling. Snoop is wrestling.
Snoop is
He's
definitely
in,
wrestling.
he's in the hall.
Is he? Wait,
Is he really in the Hall of
Fame?
Fame?
No, he's not in the hall.
No, I think he is.
Is he?
I think he's in the Hall of Fame.
Was he recent? Hold on.
You're gonna look up the Wikipedia? I kind of want to say that he is in the Hall of Fame.
Snoop DeRizzle part now.
Who inducted Snoop?
Who inducted?
I don't know, but he got inducted last year.
Wow. Are we that bad? I don't have my phone on me, so I'm having to use the browser. This is like the best like thing to show like the merits of the Hall of Fame. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
It's like, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like this is. I mean, can we? Do we really want to call the celebrity wing the Hall of Fame?
Hey,
I don't know. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger in there.
Yeah,
I
certain
think
people-
110% he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
Yeah,
isn't
certain
Donald
people-
Trump in it too?
He is.
Shh.
He definitely is.
Kofefe does not need to be spoken of. Okay, we ignore that part.
He is a man that exists.
I know, and that's the.
I mean, it's the
problem.
same reason why we mentioned Chris. Well, I mentioned Chris Benoit. He
Too soon?
exists.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Back in the day,
now.
I really, really liked the head or hair for hair Vince versus Donald Trump storyline.
Yeah, I'm not saying the story was bad, but like it's now like after the fact we're like, oh, that's our president in the Hall of Fame.
So, did you guys watch Extreme Rules?
What is
No.
that?
I
Yeah,
mean, it was
I
this
did.
thing where
I
people
saw it.
wrestled and they didn't finish any matches.
It sure wasn't extreme.
Well, it was lightly Extreme Rules or
It was,
extremely disappointing.
It was mildly PG-13.
PG-13 rules. No, it's no. Was there a single match there that was? There was no blood.
Well, no,
No,
but
wait.
that's also
Roman
was
had
bleeding.
blood. I think
Yeah,
Roman
but
had
I mean, that was obvious where the blood came from. So,
Yeah.
because it disappeared like 5 minutes later in the match.
Like, I'll be honest, I don't want to touch too much on Extreme Rules because nothing got done.
Well, I mean, things
happened,
got
but
done.
it didn't get
Like,
done.
Here's the thing. Extreme Rules can be summed up with the following statement. Great match, but the endings didn't really go anywhere. Like, story didn't move forward because somebody won.
Well, until the main event.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
when the main event happened, by the way, we take this momentary break before we get too serious to notify you that, yes, Snoop Dogg is in fact in the Hall of Fame.
Snoop Dogg is in the Hall of Fame.
I forgot
I just
because that was
confirmed
off.
like 5 minutes ago.
Well, because I looked it up too, and then I remembered, wait, that was why it was such a big deal that when Sasha Banks came down, that Snoop Dogg came
Yeah.
with her and did her intro. Anyway,
So
back
there
to
you go.
Extreme
The more
Rules.
you know. Woo.
So, what's
anyway.
that one statement?
Like you were saying, like the only match that like with the winner of the match like progressed story was the main event, and that was because that was not only a great match, but it made sense to who won
Yeah.
Well,
because
it did, but
this was finally Joe's time to main event.
It was kind of a swerve, too, just slightly.
Yeah, that was a little upsetting. But when you thought about it, you were like, okay, no, now it makes sense.
It's not going to be a squash match whenever WWE's Great Balls of Fire
Oh my
happens.
God.
let's not talk about that logo. Let's just not talk about
Oh, I
the
think
fact
we
that
need
it's
to
phallic.
mention the
Great
fact that
Balls of
somebody
Fire.
at WWE thought that was a good idea.
Do
Yeah.
you see, there was like a couple of tweets that they were saying, we're not going to refer to the next Raw pay-per-view as hashtag WWE GBOF.
F.
Yeah, you're right.
The
But they're
boff.
just going to refer to it as hashtag WWE Balls.
That's what they
Oh,
should.
can we please?
They should 100% just market it hashtag.
Please
You can
use
follow
the
all the
hashtag
action.
WWE Balls.
Balls.
Can we just drop
On
the
social
WWE and
media.
do hashtag balls?
Hashtag balls of fire.
Hashtag donger in your logo.
I know, I saw that. I was so happy about it.
what really bothers me is when I watched the trailer for it, I was like, oh, what is this? Oh, I'm digging this. This looks cool. Oh, it's a new pay-per-view. Oh, and it's named that. Oh, okay.
Can't
It's
believe
a
they just
fantastic
brought back
name.
like Bash at the Beach.
Bash at the Beach was all right.
The
I mean,
only
they
thing-
had like Taboo Tuesday,
I mean, I would like to see, Starcade come back, but
War Games.
War Games,
War Games.
I'm down.
But let's touch Extreme
trying
Rules
to
just a little
touch
bit.
Extreme Rules, and
But we
keep
can't.
avoiding Extreme Rules.
Nothing
Because here's the
was really
problem.
like relevant.
Okay,
And
Only
I'll
one thing
give
was
this
even
to y'all.
remotely extreme.
I'll give this to y'all.
So-
I know y'all do not like The Miz one bit, and I'm
No.
a fan. I love The Miz, but that match sucked.
That
It
match
did
was
suck.
terrible, and it
Because-
sucks because as much as I don't like The Miz, it's been said before, and it was said by Daniel Bryan, that quietly, The Miz is putting together a Hall of Fame career, and this did not live up to anything that he's done in the past year and a half.
Because, like, his great defenses, his awesome, like, promos and everything, those are fine. But you followed that up with having a DQ stipulation match where that actually didn't matter.
Well, I think when it comes down to it, it's just been overplayed. If I'm gonna admit to something, the whole
It's that
anyone
the
against the Miz right now is overplayed. He does these weird endings. They used to make sense. You don't usually do that in the beginning of a feud. You let that hate happen, and then it organically happens. I think they rushed it.
Like, it was almost like, oh, hey, Dean and The Miz are both on the same show again. Well, story writes itself.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
really.
It's like the first time that we saw The Miz versus Dean. That was one of the best feuds of last year and this year.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. And now it just feels forced. Like they're trying to recreate it on a different brand because apparently they think that people only watch Raw or SmackDown. I'm the minority. I only watch SmackDown. But
You are the minority.
I mean, it's just
But a
it just
smart
feels
minority.
forced. Well, now I'm watching Raw because Dean's there. And I just
There you
feel
go.
like it's a very forced storyline, and because of it, you're not going to get as good matches as whenever it was the first run of it.
Mhm.
Right. It almost feels like somebody at WWE like realized, oh snap, we lucked out and put them together. Great, continue the feud that was definitely done and should have been done by switching them from brands and just put them on the same.
I'd like
Yeah,
to,
it's
I'd
not
still
fun.
think my kind of like dream match right now is The Miz versus KO.
That would be fun.
That would be
Both of them have like just heel versus heel. It could work. Both of them have mouths. It would be awesome. The
I would
insults
like it.
would be endless.
I would like it because I could hate whoever wins.
I mean, it's the A-lister versus the new face of America, and they're both the cockiest guys in the WWE right now, and I think it's great. Well, I mean, you could kind of throw Dolph in there, but Dolph is Dolph.
Yeah, Dolph.
Dolph is forced heel. That's the problem. Like, he can do heel, but his run currently feels like very forced.
Yeah, because he came off like a really, really great feud with The Miz. And then after he dropped the title, it's just been, okay, so
It's
let's
been
turn
what do
him
we
heel,
do with
let's see what
what do we
happens.
do with Dolph?
Yeah,
Oh, let's just make him mean for no good reason.
yeah.
But he's good at it. I mean, that's at least the benefit of doing it. Is he's a good heel. I mean, again,
the show off.
we've talked about it before. His Twitter handle is Heel Ziggler. And so
Yeah.
he's good at it.
He is the show off,
It
but
does
just
feel
doesn't-
forced. Like, I agree. So the second
Let's just see if we
second
can
thing
we
on
can
the
talk.
match, or in the pay-per-view, what was it? Swan and Banks versus Dara and Alicia Fox.
Here's
That
what
was
was
short.
really funny about that. It was a mixed tag match. I'm not 100% sure if the men really participated.
They didn't.
They did.
Like, they were in there just because they had to be for the sake of, like, it being a mixed match.
Yeah.
Like, someone said, oh, crap, we got to tag them in real quick. So, like, they were in for a moment.
Yeah,
I'm-
it wasn't.
I'm- I'm going to be honest. Sasha carried that entire match. And because she did, it actually turned into at least like a C plus B minus match because, I mean, who doesn't love Sasha jumping off the top rope and giving double knees to Noam Dar?
Oh, it
Those
definitely.
always look painful.
Yes, they
Always.
do.
110%.
And what's really sad is they didn't let Swan be Swan. Like, Swan hadn't got to be the cruiserweight that he could be in a long time.
Hmm.
After his little feud with Why am I
Kendrick?
forgetting the name? Neville.
Oh,
Like, for a moment, he was feuding with Neville for the title. Like, you call yourself a king and you're not and everything. And, Neville did Neville things. Ever since that, it's kind of dropped off the radar.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole cruiserweight division as a whole. I mean,
Needs to drop off the radar?
and, no, it doesn't need to drop off. I'm
doesn't
gonna
need
agree
to,
with-
but it is.
It needs to
is.
just be part of the roster. Like,
Well, I see. At the same time, I think they could save it, but I think you have to do exactly what Jericho said on Talk is Jericho. Throw Enzo in there, let him beat Neville, and then build up more storylines in there. And you can have like 4 or 5 people then fighting at the same time because they're like, oh, they knocked off the king of the cruiserweights. Now Enzo's got it because he's a good wrestler, and then stuff just hits the fan.
because right now it's literally just if you're not in a storyline with Neville, you're not really like there. You're just kind of there
Right.
for filler,
Look at how fast Jack Gallagher dropped off.
which just sucks. 'Cause, oh my god,
Because he's
I
so
love
good.
I love Jack
It's
Gallagher.
fantastic.
Hey, listen, us pasty guys got to stick together.
I'm just telling you, I love the Man of 1,000 Umbrellas.
I
Yeah.
like that.
I
Um,
love
it's good.
that.
Can we just completely skim over the kendo stick on a pole match? Can we?
I don't. Okay, let's talk. Let's
No, let's mention the fact that Alexa Bliss still doesn't have a good finisher.
It's a DDT, and they just call it a DDT.
Like, even when the commentators go, "Oh, DDT," and Alexa wins, it's like that was the finisher.
I may or may not have tweeted about that. And
You did.
Like,
I know you did.
I know I did. But,
15.
but I mean, like we talked about it, Ron. Bailey had such a good character in NXT, and
Yeah.
and honestly, she's one of the best in-ring performers in the WWE as a whole. But it just feels like it's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah,
the
for
character
all
that they brought.
intents and purposes, Bailey should have won that. Bailey was one half of one of the most amazing women's wrestling I've seen the past 2-3 years. With Bailey going against Sasha Banks in a 30-minute Iron Man match, and then
Bailey-
she's
Bailey
afraid
had all the
of using
reason
a
to win
stick.
as well.
That doesn't work.
She
The
had
main
like
roster
all-
ruined Bailey.
She had all the reason to win too. Like having her be the champ and like the attain my dreams kind of thing.
Mhm.
It was perfect. Why they felt like, oh crap, Alexa's on this brand now. She needs a belt here.
Well,
And it
given
just-
Alexa is not that bad,
She's
She's
not.
not.
I
She's
give
great on the
Alexa
mic,
a
too.
lot of crap. I
It
give Alexa a lot of
feels-
crap.
but I think it says more about Bailey being a failure on the main roster than about Alexa's talents.
I agree with that 100% because I feel like any match that, I mean, whenever it's Alexa versus Becky or Alexa versus Bailey, whenever she faces the top talent, it feels like she is almost carried by the top talent until she gets the upper hand for the last, 4 or 5 minutes of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like
And then
Bailey
DPs.
carried that match. Like Bailey's storyline of being this everyman, like no one, like she's no one special, but she's out there, she's working her tail off. I feel like that storyline carried this match. And the fact that she hesitated with the kendo stick, I feel like that was a very big turning point. And they could have used it because I really feel like that would have been a great moment to be like Bailey saying, you know what? I don't need this because I don't believe in using weapons to beat someone else. I can just come out here and kick your butt, fist to fist, cuff to cuff. Let's do this.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that was not the story that they told.
No, it was not. And let me tell you, my Hugger's Gonna Hug shirt is hanging up in the closet now.
The next match was a good match. I think that one was a really great match, but then again, it fell to really awkward ending. So this is the steel cage tag team match. Hardy
Yeah.
Boys defending against Sheamus and Cesaro.
I'm just saying the Hardy Boys were the first 2 to get out of the ring.
Look,
Right.
don't even get me started. That's why with the infamous miss message was even stated. Because my thoughts were both people step outside. Like that's why tag team steel cage matches are always kind of dumb, just because like the rules are kind of iffy and weird.
Yeah.
But technically, once both persons' feet have come out, like that's that. So Jeff stepped out, so he was good. But if he came in, it's whatever.
But then he comes back in and he's back in the match. I honestly, the whole time I was watching that match, I was like, this match would have been much, much more amazing had it been a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have dug that. I didn't have any problems with, like, the rules and stipulations. The only reason why I didn't like it is the ending felt way too slow. Like, the momentum just, like, was grinding to a screeching halt. The way they were dragging, the way Matt was dragging Jeff out of the ring, and then the way Cesaro and Sheamus were climbing down the cage. If they rushed it, if they sped that up, that would have been a great ending.
Yeah, what it really looked like, and it looked like it was kind of a mess up. It looked like Jeff just went to, like, dead weight, and Matt couldn't pull him, and so Sheamus and Cesaro had to slow down, or else it would have ended good. But, I mean, again, one of the top 2 matches of the night.
Yep.
That's not saying much for Extreme
it's
Rules.
Not saying a whole lot, but yeah, it was tough.
It was a fun match. It was a fun match.
I will say this. My pick was Hardy Boys after a Swanton Bomb from the top. I got really close. There was something from the top of the cage.
Yeah.
Silent Whisper, but still, I was close.
We all wanted the Hardy Boys to win, but your new champions, Sheamus and Cesaro.
Did you see what Matt's wife posted on Twitter?
No, I didn't.
More and more hints towards Broken. And then he went on another tirade that sounded like Broken Matt. So
maybe it's pushing his emotional limits.
He might break. He might break very, very soon. Either that, there's also the rumor that they're going to split them up and do singles pushes for both of them. But still.
It's way too early to do that, though.
I know. It's been, 2 months?
Yeah. It's way too early to do that. We got that enough, their last WWE run. Hell, they did it 3 times in TNA.
Yeah. The good thing with the Hardy Boys is that they're both
different successes.
Yeah. They're both great singles competitors, though. So that's the only reason it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, the whole thing was that they came back as brothers. So it's way too soon to split them.
It really is. And I still get chills every time they come out to their music and Jeff does his little dance. I'm like, oh my God, it's 1998 again.
The rockin' and the thrustin'.
Yes. Oh, everything's 1998. The Hardys at the time were champs. We were having a kendo stick on a pole match.
It feels like Vince Russo's
back in the building, right?
Vince Russo's coming back.
No, one of the fun. This was a fun little fact that I saw on Twitter that the Hardy Boys are the only tag team champions to hold the titles in 3 different decades.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That is a weird little stat.
It is. But it's nice because they held it like 1998, 1999, then they held it early 2000s, and then late 2000s, and then 2017, obviously.
To be fair, though, that's like that really annoying thing where they keep going, Alexa Bliss is the first woman to hold both SmackDown and Raw titles. I'm like, that's not really a feat. Like, that's literally just because they decided the brand split needed to be a complete brand split.
I mean, I still like the status of Mickie James has been the women's champion 6 or 7 times. I feel like that's a bigger accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
Let's just not talk about the Raw women's division right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough. It's rough.
SmackDown's kicking their butt.
If you're not in the title race, you're nothing.
Not. Yeah. Unless I really like, as weird as it is, because like I used to absolutely loathe Charlotte, but letting her stop just being like a jerk to everybody with 2 legs is refreshing.
It's fun. I like Charlotte.
Eventually, I know she's going to go heel again because she's a Flair. She has to. Mm-hmm. But I'm really liking this refreshing, like, I don't know, camaraderie, Divas Revolution Charlotte.
Yeah. I like the fact that every woman in the SmackDown division is involved in Money in the Bank. I absolutely love
that's
it.
Because that's how many of them there are.
Well, I mean, it's not only
but
that,
they're still being used.
They are still being used. It's not like Mickie and Dana sitting in the back or Nia not making TV.
Ticked off that like they don't get to take part in this anymore. Like, because I remember the reason I had to ask the other day was like Money in the Bank, brand loyal. Because I remember Money in the Bank used to be like dual, right?
Yeah, when they split them up, they did a Raw Money in the Bank and they did a SmackDown Money in the Bank.
But now, like, that's just not a thing anymore.
I don't know why not, because
We'll see.
I consider, as of past 3-4 pay-per-view years, I consider Money in the Bank better than, Survivor Series.
It was like it was up there in like the big four.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it had yet surpassed Survivor Series just because of like the lineage that Survivor Series has.
But Survivor Series, the past couple
It's
years,
fallen
have not
apart
been important,
recently.
except for the last year. Last year was amazing.
Yeah.
Last year was really good Survivor Series, but I feel like it's
Because they had a story to do on it. Like,
Well, I mean, we still have time till Survivor Series, so there might be some build up to it. But no, I kind of get what
if they give us a good brand split pay-per-view though, when the Survivor Series rolls around, I'll be down with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Neville and Austin Aries. How'd y'all feel about
Sucks.
that?
Hate it.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Get out of here. I'm tired of seeing them.
I thought it was, I'm tired of seeing them wrestle, but at the same time, once you lose Austin Aries as a competitor, who do you have face Neville? Like, because you can't do TJP because you're too busy not knowing what you're doing with TJP.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But then the best match of the night: Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt versus Samoa Joe in a number one contender match.
Granted, it turned into a 2v3 match after a while.
Let me remind you people that I'm kind of a big Bray Wyatt fan. I don't know if you guys know this.
No
Wow,
way.
that's
You like Bray?
surprising to me.
Oh, I know,
Guys,
right?
we are learning new information here on the show.
I
This
honestly
just
think
in.
that was the best thing they could have done with Bray. This match was good for him, but
definitely.
he's still in like booking purgatory that they don't know what they're going to do with him. But this was a good way to do it, and it sets up a feud with him and Finn, which is great because I think that's going to be an amazing feud. Because I'd like to see the Eater of Worlds versus the Demon. I think that's cool. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But
Although
I think that was a great match.
I was really pumped to see the Demon versus the Beast.
That would be fun.
The thing about that, though, is people have been wanting to see Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar since 2005. Like, you're talking the two top guys from the two top promotions.
Oh, no, I agree. But at the same time, smart money for a while there was that it was going to be Finn getting another shot at his title he never truly lost.
Yeah. But he'll have another chance because I have a feeling that this number one contender match would not have happened if Braun Strowman didn't get injured.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
But so I think Joe's going to lose to Brock. Brock's going to fight Braun at SummerSlam, and then we'll move on from there.
And then Roman and Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Roman's going to win Royal Rumble, and
Roman at 30.
they're going to purposely do like
Roman at 30.
Roman at 30.
Okay, let's be honest. Like, I can't remember what I was watching or listening to. It was something, but
Roman Reigns documentary.
oh, they were doing a table of three. They were it was the creative one, and they were talking about it was Jim Cornette, Eric Bischoff, and Michael Hayes, and they were talking about Roman's no, was it that one or was it the Championship of Gold? I don't know. It was one of the two.
Use your words.
Yeah, use your words. And they were like, they have an ability with Roman now. It's that he's teetering on that heel phase. After the brawl with Braun, he's teetering. And it's a position they never had the chance to be in with John Cena, and that it's only going to take like one thing for him to just fall over to being a heel and stay a heel probably for the rest of his career. It's not going to take much. And I fully agree with that. It's like they just need that one thing that just kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back, if you will. And I think he'll do it soon.
I think it'll be neat to see.
But my thing is, like, what will that one thing be?
I don't know.
Because, like, Bray's already threatened his family. Braun's threatened to kill him. Like, what else do you do?
Maybe Seth will just come out. He'll have like a whole chummy thing with Roman, and then he'll just be like, you know what? I don't want to say this, but I don't care that you broke your elbow. And then that would just send Roman Reigns
Yeah, but, like,
off
I don't
the
know
wall.
that would do it. Like, because I feel like Bray threatening your kid is, like, a little higher on the scale.
Yeah, but then it turns into he's defending his child. That's still face. It needs to be something more than that.
I don't know. They're going to have to get creative with that. with how they inevitably turn him heel, because it'll need to have, like, there needs to be a reason, and more than just, like, because someone made Roman look weak.
Yeah.
But Roman's got to look strong.
He has to look strong. There's no way he could ever look weak.
Vince, maybe that's what turns him heel, is Vince comes down and says, Roman, like, just openly on air says, Roman, we're gonna have to make you look weak. And that just sends him over the edge, and he just punches Vince McMahon, and that's how he turns heel.
Roman gets into a match with James Ellsworth where he wins.
Oh, God.
Where James Ellsworth wins?
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
gotta make him look weak. I don't know.
Oh, man.
But I guess that would cover Extreme Rules.
Well, kinda.
Yeah.
It was okay.
What happens to Joe after the Brock fight?
What happens to Joe? He goes back to just crushing fools because Braun Strowman's busy.
Actually, can we talk about one thing? Can we talk about Seth Rollins' knee hitting the side of that table?
That was so scary. That was
Seth
scary.
Rollins' knee, like, seeks out, like, permanent injury. Like,
I've torn my ACL before, so I know how bad it hurts. And I saw that, and my knee, it just felt like someone stabbed in the side of it. I was like, oh my God.
You got, like, chills in your knee?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Seth Rollins' knee, though, has a death wish, so.
Oh, of course it does. Then we can talk about the DDT on the steps that he took.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He was getting his butt kicked that match.
He's such a good wrestler, man. I can't get enough of him, man.
Who, Rollins?
Yeah.
See, because there were so many good wrestlers that you have to be specific, like, who you're gushing over.
It's Rollins right now, man.
I love him. I love him to death, and he's so good on the mic, too.
I'm just glad that, like...
I'm glad he stopped doing his, like, really awkward laugh.
Oh, yeah. That being said, I really loved the fact that he won the Up, Up, Down, Down tournament.
Yes. Yes, he did. He made AJ look like a chump. AJ got mad, too.
He got
heated.
He injured a ref.
He did.
He did.
Total
Listen,
heel
don't
move,
get in the
too.
way.
Even though when you were looking, like, it looked like maybe it just bruised his hand. Like, the way he was holding his hand, I was like, oh man, did his hand get cut? But, like, I could never see, like, blood. So I was like, is this like a WWE injury? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how far kayfabe goes if it goes into, like,
YouTube?
Xavier Woods' gaming channel.
Well, here's the thing, though. WWE
got
supports
harassed.
that gaming channel.
yeah, and he got harassed by Team Blue when when Seth was walking in.
That was funny.
Got smoke blown in his face.
That was funny.
I was like, dang, y'all, like, this is off the air. Like, chill.
I mean, I'm just saying, but...
And then watching him put it in, like, what amounts to basically, like, Seth Rollins' minivan, I was just like, oh, that's cute. Stick my trophy in the back. I'm going back to Iowa.
But, yeah. We covered extremely disappointing rules.
Yeah, it was...
17.
Mildly tough rules.
Extreme rules in the past, the whole thing used to be like every match has a reason. Oh, one thing that we didn't discuss, or did we? Was the sudden pre-show match. The fact that, like, the kickoff match. But here's the thing: that was actually an okay match. Like, it didn't feel like a throwaway. It actually felt like what you would expect on a pre-show.
Yeah.
Like, most pre-show matches are just like, either you weren't good enough for the main roster, or, literally, like, your feud just doesn't matter.
But unfortunately, at Extreme Rules, the pre-show match was better than half of the actual matches.
That's my point. Like, the match was good, and the ending progressed the story that they're building between them. So that's why I said, like, I have to mention the pre-show match, because even though it was set, like, that flipping day.
Like 5 minutes before it happened?
No, not 5 minutes, but it was definitely, like, the day of that they announced, oh, hey, by the way, these two are fighting.
Yeah. Well, before we head out, there is one thing I would like to say. Y'all boys need to step your game up.
Oh, whatever.
Because I am still your
Barely.
Quick Pop podcast.
Barely.
Pay-per-view.
No.
And that's with some,
Does
some
it
debate.
feel good to bask in this gold?
That's
feel
with
as good
some
as
debate, though.
Doesn't feel as good as Samoa
somebody else
Joe
is close.
choking out Paul Heyman. Doesn't feel that
There's certain somebody that's a little on the close side and could be said that there should
refreshing.
be a tiebreaker. But
There's someone that's very close. But for the last pay-per-view, my picks were not put in.
What?
So
wait, what?
You're talking
I'm
about
just saying.
Backlash?
yeah, because I typed them in our little group chat and they were never put in because
Yeah,
I was
they were.
mobile.
Wait, are you talking Backlash or Extreme?
Backlash?
Yeah, Backlash, you said Tai Shinsuke, Usos, Baron, Becky and Company, AJ, Rowan, and Randy.
Yeah, your stuff was there. The only
Yeah.
person's stuff that wasn't there was
Sorry.
Slayers. Yeah, but no, your stuff got counted.
I feel like I'm missing something.
It definitely got counted. Promise you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in there right now.
I see
Someone
why
just
I
like...
made the mistake. I see why I made the mistake. It
It's
all makes
okay.
sense now.
But hey, I mean, we got, coming up. Money in the Bank. The title
Yeah,
could
but-
change.
MITB.
To be fair, the title really should have changed this time because of
Why?
a certain tiebreaker.
Why would it have changed?
You and Kari were technically tied.
Yeah. But there was
Kari
a
had to
tiebreaker.
come up with the most non-committal answer known to man.
Yeah. But I still won.
Barely. By a tiebreaker. Actual match predictions were tied.
You right.
You won strictly because a match where someone definitely should have interfered for either side, nobody decided to interfere.
Well, I didn't think there was going to be any interference. And that's why I said no.
I could have seen Mickey interfering on Bailey's behalf or Nia interfering on Alexa's behalf.
Yeah, but I didn't see it at all.
Let's just mention who picked the match of the night correctly.
See, but that's just it.
That would be him. I'm pointing at him right there.
Who are we pointing at?
Slate.
I'm the only one that picked number one contender match. It's the only one I had
Because
faith in.
Because we thought that they wouldn't treat the Hardys like dirt.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the WWE, bro.
Everything is...
It's not a walk on whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
just that was just booty that they treated them like they did.
But I
also
think
love
next time we should, whenever we do Money in the Bank, we do need to have tiebreaker questions, official.
yeah. I mean, the ones that we put in there were
They did its purpose.
legit.
They did
Except
its
for
purpose,
we didn't get an answer on Big Cass and Enzo.
which we'll get soon.
Yeah, that was weird. When I saw that was a thing, I'm like, I don't think that's going to be decided here.
It could have been.
I just don't see them having a segment.
They
still
gave
don't know
Elias
about that.
Sampson a segment.
I still
Think
don't
about
think
that.
My
Cass-
God, let's talk about
No.
Oh God.
Let's end
He's-
this.
No, he has. Okay, listen. The guy knows how to play guitar.
He has a
I'm
really
doing
good
that.
character going. When he started talking is when it ruined it for me.
Yeah, he just needs to be the drifter.
I miss the silent guy just kind of walking up playing the guitar and you're like, what's his deal?
Yeah, whatever. He didn't say anything. He just he walked out, wrestled Dean, and left. But and in a final parting thought, I just want to mention Kari's answer to does Mickey interfere as in other news, water is wet.
Yeah, that's what bothered me about his answer because I'm like, that's not a real. You need a.
That's a yes.
I know it
That's a
is,
yes.
but it's still a very non-committal answer. For a while, I was giving him crap because he claimed that Bay Lexa was going to win. And I was like, what does that mean? He goes, well, she's my Bay. And I'm like, well, yeah, but that doesn't work in a Bailey versus Alexa match because it looks like you're playing the odds and saying both.
I knew what he meant because I know he's a Alexa Bliss fan.
Y'all are
Oh.
both butt heads.
It looked like he was saying
Whitehead.
Bailey and Alexa. So I was like,
I understood.
Bailey is Bay. Bailey is Bay. She's my
Right.
future wife.
but I was giving him a hard time about it.
I'm gonna marry her.
NXT Bailey.
I'm gonna marry Bailey,
That's-
and
that's-
Bray Wyatt's gonna be my best man. With
Somehow doubt that.
with Dean
but-
Ambrose has thrown the bachelor party,
Jeez.
and boom, 3 favorite wrestlers all in one place.
Nice.
I think Trips should do the bachelorette party. I could see some fun happening if, especially if you let Trips plan who the bartender will be.
Nah. I
Nah,
don't think so. I don't see it.
That
No.
seems like a smart plan.
mild rules.
Mild salsa rules.
Yes.
There we go. Oh,
Extremely disappointing.
that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Goodbye.
Deuces.